All right. The next one is 147.
Yeah. Oh, man. Go into Job. Job is always good to read if you're dealing with struggles or temptation, because you ain't Job. So who brought evil on Job? Was it Satan or was it God? Job 2:7, which says, "So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with loathsome sores from the soles of his foot to the crown of his head."
There.
So clearly Satan is the one who brought evil. Or is it God, which 42:11 talks about? 42:11 says, "Then came to him all his brothers and sisters and all who had known him before and ate bread with him in his house. And they showed him sympathy and comforted him for all the evil the Lord had brought upon him. And each of them gave him a piece of money and a gold ring."
Yeah. So again, this is the bifurcation fallacy. Who did it, either God or Satan? Well, again, why can't it be both? Right? God uses means, Lyle tells us, to accomplish his will. Right? He even uses Satan to accomplish what he wants to do. Right?
Yeah. Yep. And again, this is something that people will struggle with, because to say that God brings about evil is incorrect. It's not that he's the author of evil, but he is able in his sovereignty to use evil to accomplish his will, his
good will, and to accomplish good in our lives, and to bring him glory.
All things work together to him that love God for his glory. And
for our good.
Yeah, and A.W. Pink says about Satan that Satan isn't a force opposing against God. There's no epic battle of Rock'em Sock'em Robots where you have God on one side and the devil on the other. That's my analogy. That's not A.W. Pink. A.W. Pink says that the devil is God's devil. So God is able to suppress the devil in wanting to carry out even more and worse, and even says that about mankind, that he suppresses the terrible nature of man
that we might do, because we might be more evil and accomplish greater evil than we already do. Right?
In fact, end times history tends to tell us that even without the devil present, we get into our own badness. So it's not that the devil is the sole force that drives all evil, but here God uses Satan, allows him to bring evil on Job. And so who is it that is the allowance of it? Well, yes, Satan is the one who brings it upon, so he allows Job to go through it.
Yeah.
But it is God who
allows it
through his sovereignty.
Yeah.
And to say otherwise
makes God gives the control to something else.
Or evil has no purpose.
Yeah.
So to say that there are actions which either God doesn't know, so that's more of like an open theism, or he reacts to,
or that he can't do anything about, which is then impugns his his omnipotence.
Yeah. So we have to be clear in our understanding of the characteristics of God when we talk about things like this as well. And so here's a great example of where we can come to an understanding of the sovereignty of God, the omniscience of God, the omnipotence of God, and make sure that we have a correct understanding of who our God is.
Right. So God can use other beings, other things to accomplish his means. And Lyle points out, for instance, who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the scriptures? Did God or man? Well, yes, both, right?
Yeah.
God used men to accomplish his means.
Or the best example was the crucifixion of the sinless man Christ a terrible thing? Yes, it was the only time in human history where a truly innocent person was judged incorrectly.
Right.
But it is through the crucifixion and the resurrection that we are able to have life. So God used a terrible, horrible thing that transpired that he foreordained even before the beginning of the world to bring about his will and for our benefit.
Yeah.
For the sole reason for His glory.
Yeah. So can God use evil, the crucifixion,
Clearly the
for
biggest
good,
one.
for our good, for His glory? Yes, He can.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can He cause that in terms of using instruments and allowing people to act that way? Yes, He can. But it's still, He uses it for good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.